live video is starting. It says it's starting. I believe that the live video has started, and here I am with the letter Q. My name is Lisa Starr Francis, and I'm here with the today's reflection from the Word Oracle Alchemy System. It's brought to us today by the letter Q and the color orange. So the Word Oracle Alchemy System is an oracle deck with 104 cards. The lexicon for this deck is the alphabet, and each day I'm sharing a short reflection from the guidebook. In a part of this guidebook called the Mystical Word Potion, each day I'm sharing a reflection from a particular letter and color. So this is the color orange, the section of the deck that is ruled by the color orange and red, let's just say. And this particular card has its own quote, as do the other 103 cards. So each day I share a reflection from the card, and I also share a quick, direct word alchemy experience. Because why? Because words do carry frequency. Although words are very commonly used by us, we seldom think of them as the powerful frequency emitters that they are. So every word spoken, every word heard has some energetic imprint. Some of them don't affect us, and others do affect us. Some affect us in a way that propels us forward. Some affect us in ways that stop us from being able to go forward. And word alchemy deals with words that we notice are not vibrating high, and it allows us to shift the vibration of individual words. And when we shift the vibration of individual words, that begins to shift a lot of other things inside of us, because words, of course, are our main tool of communication. And when we begin to have shifts in frequencies around singular words, that does affect all the words. It affects language. It affects just the way that we feel about language when we really become aware of it. So each day I come with the card to give the reflection and to give that direct experience with word alchemy. So how we do that is I give you 3 words each day. Today they will all begin with the letter Q, because we are working with the letter Q today. And so I'm going to say each word. I'm going to say them one at a time, and I'm going to give you the opportunity, after I have said the Q word, for you to say the Q word to yourself. You can say it out loud or in your head. Either will do. You're just going to say it, and you're going to notice what happens. You're going to notice maybe what you think or what you feel. What we're doing when we are saying the word is we're just being in the noticing. We're not judging anything. We're just noticing what happens. And the reason we're doing this is because most often words come in a sentence or a paragraph, and they do not come one by one by themselves where we get to reflect on them. But here we do. We get to reflect. So here we go. Let's do today's first Q word. So the first Q word today from this card is the word quantify. Quantify. So as I suggest, you want to say quantify. And whether you say it out loud or you say it inside, just notice when you say the word, do you think about what the word quantify means? Are you drawn to the dictionary meaning? Did you think about a time that you've had an experience with the word quantify? What happened when you said it? Maybe you can say it to yourself again, just to notice what happens. Because this is about noticing how language lands in us. That's what we're noticing. mostly we're going to notice language within our body as we start to do this. Okay, so that was our first word, quantify. The second word today is quarantine. Quarantine. So it's the same thing. You're going to say that word to yourself out loud or in your head. Quarantine. And you're going to notice, did I feel that? Because sometimes words are neutral. We don't feel anything. Sometimes they make us feel expanded. Sometimes they make us feel contracted. So you just want to notice what happens when you say quarantine. Well, I sort of felt that one in my solar plexus area. I sort of felt a little tightening as I said the word quarantine. So we want to notice just what happens. We're not judging ourselves, we're just noticing. Okay, and the third Q word for today is the word quotas. Quotas. So it's quota with an S. Quotas. So again, we want to say quotas to ourselves. And we want to notice, what do we feel? I said quotas to myself and I actually felt rushed. I had the feeling in my body of being rushed. So for me, that was not a comfortable feeling. So I would take note of that. Whereas when I said quarantine, I felt it in my stomach, but it wasn't uncomfortable. I felt it land there. Whereas when I said quotas, I felt a rushing, and it didn't feel good. It felt like I'm running, like, you know, not for fun, not for fun running. So we want to notice what happens when we say the words each day. That's what we're doing. So each day I share a card and 3 different words. You are welcome to watch these videos and do this for yourself. If you're watching this in repeat or on a reel somewhere, I do invite you to do this practice for yourself, because we are all meant to be the master experimenter on our own self. And this is a simple experiment to begin to notice that indeed words affect us more than we know. That words do feel, something is felt by our body when we say words, even though we might not be noticing it. So this is designed to bring us into the noticing. And if that's something that you feel you would benefit by, I invite you to watch these videos each day. And they are, of course, housed over on my YouTube channel. So they're there alphabetically in order. You can go and watch any one you want anytime. All right, and I'm going to put them there until all 104 are there. Okay, so we've had our 3 words. We have done the experiment, and if you're like me, you notice that your body is simply giving you information, or you notice that you're mentally thinking about something, and you just notice what's happening with words. And that's what we want to do. We want to become clear about the energy that words are holding for us. All right, so now that we have finished our actual direct experience from this cue card, I'm now going to go into the guidebook to the mystical word potion, and I am going to look up the quote for this card. And I will find that in one moment. And I'd like to say that the mystical word potion that is written in here, this is something that was given to me near the end of the downloading of the whole system, and it was offered as a thing that we would just read. We don't need to pull any cards with this. We can just open a page. We could read one of these little quotes. We could read the whole page full. We could read them in order, out of order, doesn't matter. I was told that these are written in a way that is not structurally or grammatically correct in the way that we've all been taught to write. And it is in its incorrectness that it has the ability to shift word frequencies for us simply by us reading them. So it is not meant for anything other than for us to read, and we don't have to do any hard work. If we read it and we didn't ever even understand it, that doesn't even matter. Reading it is what shifts frequency. So it is just meant as a little bonus thing that you can do, that you don't actually have to do anything. So normally I haven't shared these quotes, but I am sharing each one per day. So now let's get to the cue card. This is the cue card in the orange section of the deck, and the quote from this card says, "Being quicker can win some prizes and awards. However, when it comes to stockpiling life's treasures and pleasures, true winning is only quantifiable by the measure of love being felt." Okay, so let's hear that one more time. It's a real fun one. Being quicker can win some prizes and awards. However, when it comes to stockpiling life's treasures and pleasures, true winning is only quantifiable by the measure of love being felt. All right, so that is what the cue card has to say to us. That is its reflection that it offers us. So let's look at the core principle of what that's saying to us. It's saying to us, many systems measure success by speed, numbers, or quotas. There's that word, quotas. But the deeper treasures of life cannot be counted that way. They can't. Love is the true treasure. We all know that. Moments of kindness, connection with others, peace within the heart. These are the treasures that accumulate quietly for us. And the law is simple. What is filled with love multiplies in value. And that's it's saying that life's greatest wealth is not measured by quantity, but it's measured by the quality of love experienced. That's what this card is telling us. So that's our little reflection for today. And I like to follow up the reflection and bring a little bit of a biblical echo to each of these reflections each day. So today the biblical echo is from Matthew 6:21. "For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also." For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Matthew 6:21. The meaning of that is, what we value most shapes the focus of our life. What we value most. So when we value love the most, that is what shapes the focus of our life. And of course, that quote connects with the card, because the card is telling us when love becomes the true treasure, life begins to feel richer and more meaningful. And the Bible quote is saying that same thing. Okay, and then there is a wisdom teacher quote. As a student of metaphysics for over 40-something years, I've read a lot of books, I've taken a lot of courses, and I like to share a quote daily from different wisdom teachers and echo from them that echoes the sentiment of each of these cards. So the quote from today comes from the author called Florence Scovel Shinn, And the quote from her is, "Love is the most powerful force in the universe." And Miss Shin taught that love harmonizes circumstances and attracts blessings. That she really taught that quite a bit. If you've read any of her books, you will know that is true. And why that quote connects with what this card is also sharing as its reflection, because both are saying to us, when love becomes the measure of success, life fills with deeper treasures and authentic joy. And so that is how it connects together with the card, because the card and the quote from Florence both emphasize that the measure of success is actually love. And that is the thing that actually gives us the authentic joy and the deeper treasures of life. So that is the reflection from the letter Q today and the color orange. So tomorrow we will be coming back with the letter R, and we will have another set of 3 words to have the direct experience. And if you're like me and you said one of those words today that made you maybe feel like I did when I said quotas, and it kind of made me feel like I was fast. For me, I'm going to write down quotas, because that's a word that I can take into a cleaning session, because one of the things that the Word Oracle does is it cleans the frequency of words and allows us to add the frequency that we want to that word. So we clean off what's there and we add in what we want, and we begin to have a sovereign relationship where we are choosing the way words land in us. We are choosing how it feels. So I can take quotas to a word bank session and I can take it in for a cleaning, and then quotas can feel energetically different when it lands in me, so I don't have to have a racing experience. So what that tells me is anytime someone is saying the word quotas in a sentence, if I'm reading it in a book, if I'm experiencing the word quotas, that word is giving me a racing feeling every time I hear it. So today I have discovered that that word needs to get into the shop and get cleaned up. And that is what the Word Oracle helps us do. That is the experience of word alchemy. We can actually shift these things for ourselves, and they stay shifted. And that small shift on one word tends to help all the other words vibrate differently, because of course when one word in us is attached to a new meaning and vibrating at a new meaning, every other word, the vibration of every other word feels that. Everything is vibration. Everything is frequency. And the Word Oracle Alchemy System lets us work with the frequency of words personally for ourselves. That's a true treasure. So I hope you'll join me again tomorrow for the letter R and the color orange from the Word Oracle Alchemy System. See you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.